In 1990, Tim Berners-Lee created the world's first web browser, which he called World Wide Web. He set up the world's first website and followed that up with the world's first web page, which told you how you could make your own web page. From that moment came the fastest growing communications media of all time. This propagated the idea of a lone computer programmer hacking away in front of a screen, building the great next piece of software. The truth is far from it. Most great inventions and advances in today's world are the result of teams, collaborating together to build something they could never create alone. Businesses have expressed concerns that graduates don't come to work with the skills they need to communicate and collaborate effectively. Even though today's work environment requires personnel who can perform in groups, the school systems that we prepare them in are built on an individual accountability framework that reflects the previous economic model. This class is designed to introduce you to the use of Wikis to teach students to communicate and collaborate. Implementing Wikis and other tools that help students communicate and collaborate in an environment that more closely resembles their future workplace will enhance our curriculum. A wiki is a website that is used for collaborative writing, resource sharing, collaborative research, analysis, and knowledge building. The most famous example is Wikipedia, where users collaborate to create a hyperlinked encyclopedia with over 6 million articles. Wikis are not limited to online encyclopedias. You can create class projects that write a wiki book, create a virtual field trip, allow students to create an exploratory project for a topic, create a student-built exam review site, create a biographical site for a historical figure, do project management for a student collaboration, host an online book club discussion, create a classroom scrapbook, document local history, or even create a classroom fact. The classroom uses are almost endless. The wiki tool that forms the backbone for Wikipedia and is used by tens of thousands of sites and thousands of companies is MediaWiki. It is free to install and use, but it requires a website to install it on so that students can access it. You can use paid or free wiki farms, sites that host wikis. Most of the free ones are ad-supported, so you have to consider that effect on students and their learning. Fandom is a well-known wiki farm. Microsoft OneNote can be used as a wiki, as well as Teams and SharePoint. There are a lot of options and a variety of user-friendly interfaces. Do your homework and pick what works best for you in your classroom. Whatever project and tool you select, it is important to begin with training the students to use the tool. If you're using MediaWiki, then have students make edits on Wikipedia. No matter what, they need to know how to make edits, format text, create links to other articles, add photographs, and track changes. It is best to guide students through specific exercises where they have the opportunity for hands-on work. Give them small tasks to accomplish in the wiki so that they can see the result in the classroom setting. Although we want to familiarize students with Web 2.0 tools, we must recognize that tools change. The point of these projects is to teach students communication and collaboration skills, which are tool agnostic. Too many times, students are hesitant to work in groups because they are concerned that they will end up with an unfair portion of the work. Start the class with a clear rubric that delineates how you will grade each individual. Wikis allow you to see each individual's contribution. This should be a significant portion of their grade, especially in terms of their effort to contribute to the group's learning. But the final product must also be a part of their summative assessment, since the results of communication and collaboration are the point of the exercise. As usual, formative evaluation is key to student success and motivation. This type of class changes your role as instructor. It is a different set of skills than the traditional classroom. You are no longer serving as subject matter expert, where students are the passive recipients of your knowledge. You are teaching the students to construct knowledge instead of teaching them the knowledge itself. The technology transforms the educational process to make the students more active participants through communication and collaboration. But this change also affects the role of the student. At first, students are reluctant to have their work criticized by peers and to offer criticism. Traditionally, their work has been virtually invisible to peers and feedback came only through the instructor. However, the collaborative workplace requires students to work together with others to find the best solution, necessitating these interactions. As an instructor, it is most effective to address the elephant in the room by integrating feedback as part of the learning process, highlighting particularly effective examples, and giving students opportunity to practice both giving and receiving peer feedback. Ultimately, the students will revise their work extensively since they are writing for an audience of their peers. Of course, the strength of wikis also comes with a downside. Wikis are flexible enough to be used in multiple classroom applications. That also means that the end result might not be clear. As the instructor, you will need to use scaffolding to provide clarity to the students. Templates are an excellent way to make your expectations explicit. Clear benchmarks for the project, along with timely feedback, can help students navigate the inexhaustible amount of content on the internet and produce an acceptable final product. In the work world that we are preparing the students for, these collaborative projects have deadlines and specific outcomes. Project managers are often employed to help manage the process. One of the things that you must consider is how this role will be filled in your classroom, or it is likely that your deadline will not be met. Ultimately, you can serve as project manager for the group or groups. However, assigning roles within the team to delegate responsibilities and coordinate communication can also be part of the learning process. As the instructor, it is imperative that you teach students what good communication and collaboration look like. Recognizing student contributions publicly can reinforce what you are looking for. Because wikis allow you to see the before and after view of the edits made, you can highlight examples of collaboration that make the final product improve. We are no longer teaching students the what of the subject as much as we are teaching them the how of constructing the knowledge together. It is teaching information literacy as well as collaboration with that information. Finally, we must teach the students to be aware of the ethical use of the information they generate. Finding, compiling, and sharing information always raises the issue of intellectual property. Respecting those delineations is a key skill for students as they move into the information economy.